Okay, we're here with Paul Walsh from MetaCert Protocol. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing, but maybe go back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how you started in what you're doing, progression into blockchain.
Sure. I see a world where you feel safe opening a link. And I also see a world where you feel safe sending your crypto to the right address. My career in the internet world, without boring you to death, started at AOL back in the 90s. And I was part of the team that helped to launch technologies like AIM, 56K modem protocol, X2, internet radio, online games, and a bunch of other cool stuff back then. Also worked in the mobile industry, started my first company in 2003, which was a trust mark for web accessibility compliance and software testing. And I've been heavily involved in various W3C initiatives. And the W3C is the standards body for the World Wide Web. And in that capacity,
I've seen that somewhere. Is that like branded on, I don't know, like security?
You'll see it on some websites.
Okay.
You'll see it on some websites for sure.
Yeah.
It was started by Tim Berners-Lee, and he's still the chairman of it. Wow. So it's responsible for standards such as HTML, which you'll recognize, obviously. I'm one of the 7 founders of the Mobile Web Initiative. And at that time, I was tasked with rewriting Tim Berners-Lee's vision of the One Web, because the mobile web on small screens was something different. And in the context of MetaCert, I'm one of the 2 people that co-instigated the W3C standard for URL classification, content labeling. And MetaCert, in short, is a cybersecurity company which protects more crypto people than all other security companies combined from fraud and phishing specifically.
When did you get into that, and how did you into the blockchain space in terms of the security, and how did you get that kind of level of adoption, and what are you doing? Like, is it in the exchanges? Is it in the actual community groups? Is it a mix of both? Give us a high level.
MetaCert was founded in 2011. It's the number 1 security company in messaging. So we protect quite a few companies from phishing inside software such as Slack. And in June 2017, a time when I didn't even know what cryptocurrency was, a couple of companies, actually there was one guy in particular, Matt, from Singular DTV. He came to me and said, Paul, you seem to be the only company that has anti-phishing security for Slack. In the crypto world, we're being hammered inside Slack. Can you look at it? So I had a look at it. I joined a few communities, and I was like, oh, holy crap. I went from predicting phishing would be a problem in Slack and HipChat and other messaging apps to, wow, the houses are on fire. Literally every 5 minutes there was a scam with phishing links being sent in pretty much all communities across Slack. And I had numerous conversations, and for the CEO of a security company, it's very unusual to be able to see live attacks and speak to victims there and then. So I had direct messages from people saying, there was one particular night in June, I remember Pedro, a guy from Mexico, he said he'd lost his entire life savings. And then a businesswoman, she lost her entire life savings, and she was crying inside the direct messages of Slack. And she gave me permission to write about it and publish her name. And it was at that point I realized, okay, we need to stop with this go-to-market execution strategy for these big companies to see if we've got a good product fit and see how much they're willing to pay to solving this problem within the crypto world. These are real people losing their life savings. I'd rather save you from losing $500 if it means so much to you than a big company ticking a box for compliance. So slightly a long story short, slightly shorter. We iterated that Slack security solution, which is basically...
How do you do that? Do they provide like an API or something?
Yeah, so Slack provides an API, but unfortunately we didn't predict how the bad actors would actually come into communities and use techniques such as the ones that they used. We just protected the public channels. We didn't think for a second that the bad actors would start sending direct messages. We didn't expect them to use the incoming webhook API. We didn't expect them to use the Slackbot reminder, which is technically impossible for anybody to turn off. Once you set a reminder, that's it. So we actually iterated the product for about 3 months, got a really good fit, and then we were installed in so many communities on Slack, it pretty much turned it off completely, which is why today you never read about phishing on site Slack. And so during that time, we got to talk to a huge number of crypto founders and critics, supporters and non-supporters of different types of chains and currencies. And during that time, people used to come to us and say, why don't you decentralize what you're doing? Because in the middle of all of our security products and services, we have what's called a cyber threat intelligence system, which is basically a very fancy name for a big database. And it's the biggest of its kind in the world. It's bigger than Symantec, McAfee, and OpenDNS combined. Remember, going back to the fact that I helped to create the standard for URL categorization, and that's where it comes into play. I'd been working on that for a long time. And so the cyber threat intelligence system, they're saying, why don't you decentralize it? And some people were saying, I hate you, I hate centralized companies, why don't you decentralize that? And then we had other people saying, hey, dude, I think it'd be really cool if you decentralize your database. And we didn't really know what that meant in the context of our company and data and services. And it took us a considerable period of time to come to the conclusion that that would be a good thing to do. And then after Slack, I predicted last year that, hey, once we turn this off in Slack, the bad guys will go to another platform. And I said, it will be Telegram. And of course, what happened? They moved to Telegram. And so we built a security chatbot for Telegram. And it's now installed in over 1,000 crypto communities, protecting over 1 million users. And so during all this time, we're building karma points because we're trying to help and be part of the ecosystem, and not be a cybersecurity company coming in saying, with this FUD approach, try to be, find out what are the problems, how can we help you, how can we solve this, and then now you don't see so much phishing on Telegram, but guess what? Now you see phishing scams on Twitter. So we have a couple of solutions for Twitter, one of which we don't disclose in detail, but suffice to say, it's security software with machine learning that listens to the Twitter fire hose, identifies the signals associated with phishing campaigns, and then we do some fancy things to make sure we classify those bad ones.
So the user, the end user, like me as a Twitter user, needs to have something installed at my end, or how does it work?
Well, there's two apps. There's one app, one security kind of piece of software. The software is for us. That helps us identify bad addresses, and then we classify them. You're
just scanning the network constantly.
Yeah, the Twitter fire hose, and then we thread messages, we crawl, we get to their website, we identify the address. How do you
monetize that for yourselves?
So going back to the Twitter user though first, we also have a browser extension called Kryptonite. And when you install that, it turns the shield that we install from black to green whenever you visit a verified crypto website or social media account, because you can't rely on the padlock provided by the SSL certificate because phishing sites use them. So as an end user, you can install that and it's free. So going on to the business model, we have an anti-fraud solution for exchanges. It's completely free. And once it's installed, it helps them prevent bad actors from trading on their platform. We have the same service for wallets, crypto wallets. And there what happens is the same as the browser extension. When you go to send your crypto to an address, when you scan the barcode or copy and paste it, it quickly checks MetaCert protocol. If it's verified by us, you get a green shield. And if it's not verified, it's black. And if it's bad, it gets a red one. Now you know whether or not you're going to send it to the right address. That's free for wallets too. Why? Same business model as VeriSign and Netscape. Netscape did not pay VeriSign. Website owners paid VeriSign to get the padlock and protect their website. So the more exchanges and wallets integrate MetaCert protocol, the more likely companies are willing to pay us to have their address verified. And we already have a ton lined up. We have the first hardware wallet to go live is Cool Wallet. And it's one of the best hardware wallets I've ever seen. The application gives you the green shield. And that's just one kind of revenue model.
Excellent. And so where are you guys? You're looking at raising funds at this point to really push into the crypto space even stronger?
Yeah, so when we came to the conclusion we could decentralize stuff, we'll start with the decision-making process around which websites, which social media accounts, which crypto addresses are safe and not safe.
Right.
And the only way to do that, the only way to crowdsource that kind of trust and reputation on the internet is to incentivize good behavior, because otherwise, you have no idea whether they're being honest or not. And the only way to incentivize good behavior, as we now know, is with a token. And so submitters will stake some token, and then the validators will stake some token, and when consensus is reached, everybody gets paid back their stake and their token. Excuse me. So we do need a token, and so we might as well actually sell the token to bigger buyers also. So right now we are actually raising with a hard cap of $10 million.
Excellent. And does that cross over into kind of a bounty model as well to incentivize people to kind of help with your database, with kind of, you know?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, we already have thousands of people around the world who get involved in our community.
Yep.
So we have a very active Telegram community.
Yep.
Nobody comes in and says, when to the moon, when Lambo. We actually don't see it.
Thank goodness.
We have people coming in from our tools and our other communities that are protected by MetaCert, coming in saying, hey, this is a really cool project, I love it, how do I participate? Because they know one of the challenges with token curated registries is that you use a token to accelerate the growth of the network effect. So you're starting everything from scratch. We've already got all the stakeholders, the software, the users, the customers, the partners. So let's say you use Kryptonite. Your incentive to submit links that you think are dangerous to me are not just for token, but actually it'll improve the software that you're using to protect yourself. So you're basically getting paid to protect yourself. So for me, it's a great business model for everybody. And we opened up a beta program which was restricted to Kryptonite users, and we had 1,400 people register in 3 days, 275 people who bought tokens, and two people emailed me saying the minimum entry price was 0.01 ETH. And because we haven't launched the token yet, and I had two people say to me, I'm saving up for the next week to be able to participate in the beta program. And that just kind of reminds me, which I kind of knew already because I have a microfinance charity in India with my wife. And so in developing countries or developing communities in developed countries where people don't earn as much money as you think, or where the cost of living is lower, they can actually make some money. They can actually, I'm not saying everybody's going to be rich, but some people will be able to make money from it by participating and helping to make the internet a safer place.
Excellent. Amazing. So where can people that are listening now find out more about you guys? And maybe you guys are doing a private round and then opening it up a little bit more later on?
Yep, exactly. In fact, we're doing something unique in that the beta program is running in parallel to the private raise, and the beta program, you have to buy tokens to participate, but in return for buying tokens you get a significant discount, and then there's a sizable bonus for real participatory users using it today. So that's running in parallel to the private sale, and then the public sale starts in November, just for 2 weeks actually.
Excellent.
MetaCert.com.
Yeah, MetaCert.com.
MetaCert.com.
Okay, cool. Paul, so good to talk to you. We wish you all the best, and thanks for dropping by.
Thanks so much.